All right, viewers, welcome back to Real Talk Show on Lono TV. I'm your host, Shimba Chichi or DJ Chichi. Welcome back to this wonderful and interesting program called Real Talk Show that talks about real issues, real and quality things that are happening within and beyond us, that will be discussing quality issues and issues that are affecting you and me, issues affecting youths, issues affecting the community, the constituency, of course, the province, and the country at large. And of course, remember this program is sponsored by Sajotech Mobile, the shop that is specialized for accessories, mobile phones, and other accessories. If you need anything to do with your mobile phones and other gadgets that to do with electronic, it's a world of technology. So come through to Sajotech Mobile. Not forgetting Lono Studios that provide services like quality services of course, if you want to be covered in Chilanga Mlilo, wedding, corporate events, and other important events, come through and have your services being delivered at Lono Studios. And of course, in the studios right now, this particular evening, I'm privileged to have one gallant soldier, one gallant citizen that will be discussing something to do with a unique kind of talent, so to speak. It's called poetry. Now we want to look at center much on love and hate, especially in the poetry world. What is found in poetry and what is really involved in poetry, and what can a person do if that person intends to venture in poetry. So we'll be discussing quite a number of issues. So stay tuned, and of course invite friends to like and comment if you're a lover of poetry, and if you want to know more about poetry, because to poetry cool and the mom and dad and the like. So we'll be having quite an interesting discussion on this program. Stay tuned. After a short break, we'll be having more on this program.
Great news from Lono Studios, a safe place for entertainment, advertisement, broadcasting, and social interaction. You can now advertise your goods and services on Lono TV at a very affordable price. Publicity makes a good business stand out. You can get yourself a TV advert, radio advert, Lono TV Facebook page post, TV program sponsor shout out. Remember, at a very affordable price. You can also digitalize your business by subscribing to our digital marketing packages so as to advertise your business on social media platforms and websites, e.g. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. You can subscribe to a bronze package, silver package, or golden package and get yourself that social media business boost. More followers, more customers, more sales. Lono Studios, we are here to show the world what you have while you sit back and do your business. Come show the world the beauty of your products and services.
Lono Studios cares about your memories, and what better way to keep your memories than having pictures and videos. As Lono Studios, we cover events such as weddings, kitchen parties, Chilanga Mulilo, birthday parties, as well as corporate events. If you are looking for quality pictures and videos for such events, look no further than Lono Studios. Visit and like our Facebook page at LonoZM.
Great news from Lono Studios, a safe place for entertainment, advertisement, broadcasting, and social interaction. You can now advertise your goods and services on Lono TV at a very affordable price. Publicity makes a good business stand out. You can get yourself a TV advert, radio advert, Lono TV Facebook page post, TV program sponsor shout out. Remember, at a very affordable price. You can also digitalize your business by subscribing to our digital marketing packages so as to advertise your business on social media platforms and websites, e.g. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. You can subscribe to a bronze package, silver package, or golden package and get yourself that social media business boost. More followers, more customers, more sales. Lono Studios, we are here to show the world what you have while you sit back and do your business. Come show the world the beauty of your products and services.
All right, welcome back to this wonderful again, and of course it's Real Talk Show program sponsored by Sajotech Mobile and of course Lono Studios. Okay, our dear viewers,
Lono Studios cares about your memories, and what better way to keep your memories than having pictures and videos. As Lono Studios, we cover events such as weddings, kitchen parties, chilanga mulilo, birthday parties, as well as corporate events. If you are looking for quality pictures and videos for such events, look no further than Lono Studios. Visit and like our Facebook page at LonoZM.
Great news from Lono Studios, a safe place for entertainment, advertisement, broadcasting, and social interaction. You can now advertise your goods and services on Lono TV at a very affordable price. You know publicity makes a good business stand out. You can get yourself a TV advert, radio advert, Lono TV Facebook page post, TV program sponsor shout out. Remember, at a very affordable price. You can also digitalize your business by subscribing to our digital marketing packages so as to advertise your business on social media platforms and websites, e.g. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. You can subscribe to a bronze package, silver package, or golden package and get yourself that social media business boost. More followers, more customers, more sales. Lono Studios, we are here to show the world what you have while you sit back and do your business. Come show the world the beauty of your products and services.
All right, welcome back. It is Real Talk Show on Lono TV. Invite your friends and, of course, leave a comment in the section below and invite others to follow this platform, Lono TV. And, of course, one of the interesting programs on Lono TV, Real Talk Show, and other programs designed to educate, inform, and, of course, to give you something better and, of course, something to uplift your spirit. And, of course, let me not preempt much on today's program. Allow me to introduce one of the giant citizen who's going to introduce himself, and, of course, is no other than Zombe Mukandawire. He's a poet, but he's going to introduce more about himself. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for hosting me.
Yes. Who is Zombe?
Zombe Mukandawire is a poet.
Mm-hmm.
He's one person who's very quiet when it comes to being with clouds. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Tell us more about Zombe's career and your well-being as growing up. What was Zombe by then?
Okay. Zombe was one quiet person, like I said earlier on.
Mm.
And growing up as a kid, I used to be an introvert.
Okay.
And I used to find difficulties expressing myself when it comes to crowds.
Okay.
So I found my core. I think that's somewhere at 10. That's when I discovered I was a poet. Mm-hmm. So I found out to say I was much into expressing myself through writing than talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So Zombe, when you talk about poetry, many people just understand to say poetry, you just recite something, maybe a message, a Bible verse or anything. What is poetry in its actual sense?
I think when you talk of poetry, people might misunderstand the term poetry. Poetry is simply words put in a rhythm, mm-hmm. and in a rhythm and rhymes. Okay. Yeah, that's poetry.
All right. So why did you decide to become a poet? Then maybe you're a musician or an actor or an artist, maybe just to do drawings. Why did you choose poetry? Because we have not seen many people, especially the youths of nowadays, they don't like poetry. So if you're watching, maybe you need to watch me. No?
I think a lot of people misunderstand the term poetry. Mm-hmm. I would say even music and art is also poetry.
Okay.
Poetry is simply a form of expression. When you're trying to express something, mm-hmm. that's poetry. Okay. Because poetry can be done without speaking. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're just doing gestures. Okay. In sign language, you can do poetry like that. Mm-hmm. Even music, there's some music people do, like when I'm too cheerful, that's poetry, I would say. Okay. Yeah.
So music, in other words, you're saying it's poetry as well.
Definitely.
So here's the thing. I'm an artist or a person like any other person and want to discover my talent, to identify which area I'm doing good. Then I find that, okay, wishe poetry, wishe private sungu, nango, he went to private school, maybe you can discover that talent. What makes somebody to love poetry?
I think poetry is not about English. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of poets that can recite different languages. Mm-hmm. they can recite in different ways, and they would come out in a different way. Actually, poetry is not about you copying what someone does, but you doing your own thing, but trying to lay out a message to people. Okay. Yeah, that's poetry.
Was there somebody who inspired you to love poetry or to start doing poetry?
I was inspired by a lot of people, I would say.
Okay, maybe you can mention maybe 3 or 2.
Yeah,
that
like
really had an impact on your upbringing when it comes to poetry.
Okay, like I said earlier on, difficulties expressing myself when it comes to relating with people. So most of the time I would scribble something on a paper, and that way I would ease myself like that. If I'm stressed or maybe heartbroken, I would just scribble something on a paper, then I'll be warm and dry. Then there was a time I used to enjoy listening to a lot of poets, I would say. I have a number of favorite poets.
Okay.
When it comes to Zambia and outside the country. But me discovering myself as a poet, there was a certain man who introduced me to poetry. Actually, he just saw me, he heard me talk, and he said, I think your voice sounds like a poet. You can recite. You must come on set and try this something out. Yeah.
There's something hidden about people's character. You said you are going to be an introvert, a quiet person, right?
Yes.
So a quiet person, how does that personality fit to be in a poetic world? When you're quiet, you know, poets, these people do poems. They are known to be more active in speaking and talking, you know. When somebody stands and starts speaking, you can say, very good, extroverts. But you are in an introvert. How did you balance that?
Okay, that's the point. Most of the people, most of poets, they're not necessarily extroverts.
Okay.
They're introverts because I would say the reason why I'm saying this is when you're talking to someone, like for example, like we are talking, the two of us. Yeah, I will not to say I'm talking to Chichi, therefore whatever I'm saying will be directed to you. And I'll have a certain kind of fear like inside of me, or maybe my ego will tell me not to say something because I'll be afraid to say, maybe you will react in a certain way and stuff. But when it comes to poetry, when, for example, when I'm standing on stage, I'm not talking to a particular person. So I'll even be free to say, even if it affects you, definitely I'll not to say I wasn't referring to this one, the second person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, looking at the poem and the industry in itself as poetry, and when we understand quite deep in poem and other things, what other message really send forth to the community, especially the world, the general world? What message really found there? Is it just a message of music, love, or what kind of message you send to the people?
I think one thing I love about poetry is it's a licensed type of art. You can cover different types of topic.
Okay.
You can cover politics, you can cover love, you can cover hate, depending on what you see.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So maybe I'll try to bring something in. Maybe you give us something, maybe a piece of a part of a poem. Maybe after this break, then when we come back, prepare yourself for that. Just a snip of it, of one piece of one poem that you have done, so that maybe others may be inspired about this wonderful career. So our dear viewers, stay tuned on Lono TV. It's called Real Talk Show. Remember to like and follow this page, and of course leave a comment in the section below. We are talking about poetry in its sense. Maybe even you try to explain, is it the difference between poem and poetry? Is there a difference there? Maybe when we talk to somebody, say, I was doing poems, maybe they refer to, old age poem, my name, and all that. Anyway, stay tuned on this particular program, Real Talk Show. We'll be back on the other side.
We show you how the face of Kasama has changed each and every moment. Our production crew has now advanced in streaming live in full HD up to 4K. Lono Studios is well equipped for the service. We have 4K cameras for high resolution, DJI drone for aerial view, live streaming video switcher, gimbal for smooth rotation of an object, and many more equipments. You can book us for live streaming to render your services in sport activities, church services, road shows, corporate meetings and workshops, social gatherings, and many more adventure activities. Book your session now on 0973 173461. Visit or like our Facebook page at Lono TV. Love ain't no bonus.
All right, welcome back, our dear viewers. Welcome to this wonderful program, Real Talk Show, with me, DJ Chichi, and of course, you can call me Shimba Chichi. We are discussing on important aspects in life called poetry and love and hate. And maybe you try to understand is maybe in poetry, do you find hate in it? And do you people really hate each other because of, or maybe you even have people who are more brilliant than you are, maybe in a team or in a group, or you just do it as an individual?
Okay, I would say a lot of poets, they're brilliant.
They're brilliant.
All poets are intelligent, I would say. And I'm always moved by what they do.
Okay.
But of course, we have our own ways of working out things, yeah. So I wouldn't necessarily compare people.
You don't really compare people?
No.
But how do you fight for the position as being you as Zombie doing the poem?
Okay, when it comes to poetry, you pick up a certain topic. You pick up a certain topic that you'll be covering yourself. For example, if I say, for me as Zombie, I would be covering hate part of poetry. Definitely I'll be working in that area. And there's someone who will be covering, for example, an area of love. Some will be covering areas of like politics and the stuff. Yeah. So, and they are good in their own way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Zombie, tell us about your tertiary education. Were you doing poetry there, or maybe that's where you really discovered your talent as a poet, or maybe it started way back in secondary? How was it, maybe secondary and tertiary education?
Okay, when it comes to poetry, firstly, I was I was an actor, I would say. Yeah, when I was in grade 10 up to 12, I used to do drama.
Okay.
Then when I went to college, that's when I met my mentor, who introduced me to poetry. Yeah.
What was your name?
Aubrey and Simpasa.
Simpasa.
Yeah.
All right. Poetry and poem, is there a difference there?
I would say it's one and the same thing.
But why do people mistaken when say I'm doing poetry and I'm doing poems? What's the difference?
Actually, a poem, when we talk of a poem is simply a form of poetry, yeah. It falls under poetry,
Okay.
a poem. But usually a poem is done by a single person, and it just involves spoken word and the stuff. But when you talk of poetry, there's a lot which is involved. You think of emotions, you think of gestures, yeah. A lot of reactions, I would say, that should be followed when you talk of poetry.
Maybe as we are discussing, I'm sure you're trying to recall one of the pieces that you have done. You're going to give us something in that line. Okay, looking at our province, Kasama district in particular, how are you finding as your potential to do poetry in Kasama? Is the environment conducive for you doing poetry?
I would say it's not necessarily conducive, but we are faring.
You're faring.
Yeah.
So who do you work with, especially when it comes to poetry?
I have a lot of friends that I work with. For example, I have a friend of mine who's by the name of Suilanj Simkwai, Tosa. He goes by the stage name Tosa. Yeah. He's one person I would look up to, and I would tell him to say, my guy, I'm working on something like this. At least try to help me out. What should I put in? And you'll be on board to help me out.
So you even do promotion when it comes to pieces of poetry?
Yeah, we do that.
How do you push your career as a poet high?
Actually, we upload a lot of pieces on social media. So apparently, I'm working on my first EP.
Okay.
Yeah, which should be out soon. Yeah, it's called This Is It.
This is it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So who helps you in promotion of poetry? When you want to promote those pieces of poetry, who helps you to do that?
I think the man I mentioned earlier on, O'Brien Simpasa, he's called DJ Fresh. He's one person who has been there for me since day one.
Okay.
And he has been looking up to me. For example, would give me chances to be in the studio to record something that I've written, or maybe something that he himself has written and he thinks I would do better when I jump on it. Okay. Yeah, and then would upload them on social media platforms so that people can view.
We had Kasama Got Talent some years back. I don't know if it's 2019, 2020, 2021, somewhere there. And I saw you to the auditions, in one of the auditions that we are there.
Yeah.
What happened there? Maybe you can try to share with us the experience, how you fared, like how was the stage?
Yeah. Okay. It was one kind of strange thing because most of the people in our areas, like I would say in Africa, most of the people do not understand the term poetry, and when it comes to this form of art, so it's very difficult for me to lay out my message so that people can understand. But it was very difficult for me because the time I was reciting, the time I participated in the auditions. Most of the people, and I would say maybe including the judges, they didn't really understand which form of art was happening on stage. So it was
maybe you didn't explain to them the form of art that you are presenting at that particular time.
Okay, I did. You know, when you're on stage and you're attending auditions, you don't have a chance to explain yourself, like to say, this is a form of art I'm going to perform, and it goes in this line, and so you just have a few minutes to express yourself. So you don't have a chance to explain yourself. So you just have to lay it out and let them understand. Yeah.
Were you in the finals, or you were just put out from the competition by maybe, I don't know, they were not satisfied with your piece?
Oh, okay. I think the year you are talking about 2019, is it 2020? I
2020,
think
yeah,
that was
2020.
2020. Yeah, I managed to reach the final day, but I was knocked out on the semi-finals. I would say. Yeah.
What happened?
What happened?
Yeah. What happened?
Okay, what happened was I felt I didn't express myself very much. So I would give it to the judges. Maybe they didn't understand what I was doing on stage, and maybe I didn't express myself that much. So I wouldn't know who to blame, I would say.
All right, here's the thing. You're going to the competition. Now, first of all, maybe we talk about the competition itself. Was it fair to you? Maybe you thought maybe something could be done better?
Yeah, I wouldn't really say much on that one because
in the world of competition, and that art is competitive, you know.
Yes.
When you enter in a competition, you find different challenges there. So maybe you gave it a challenge to say maybe this competition is not really fair to my part, or this challenge, the judges need to improve on this and that. Those recommendations, how was it?
Okay. When you talk of the competition being fair, I would say it was just fair because it was a platform where any person would express themselves in their own way. So I think maybe on my part, I didn't express myself in the right way. Maybe that's why I was knocked out of the competition.
This year you are participating in the audition?
Definitely.
And what is your experience this time around?
I think this time I've learned a lot of things, and I've been working on a way to show them, to say this is actually me, and this is actually a form of art that should be recognized.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is actually you. This is actually Zombie. So Zombie will be giving us a piece of a poem when we come back on this second break on Real Talk Show. We are discussing poem and love, hate in the poetic expression. Poem is a dynamic thing. It needs an understanding. So we want to understand more about poetry. So when we come back, prepare for a piece of a poem. Stay tuned.
Great news from Lono Studios, a safe place for entertainment, advertisement, broadcasting, and social interaction. You can now advertise your goods and services on Lono TV at a very affordable price. You know publicity makes a good business stand out. You can get yourself a TV advert, radio advert, Lono TV Facebook page post, TV program sponsor shout out. Remember, at a very affordable price. You can also digitalize your business by subscribing to our digital marketing packages so as to advertise your business on social media platforms and websites, e.g. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. You can subscribe to a bronze package, silver package, or golden package and get yourself that social media business boost. More followers, more customers, more sales. Lono Studios, we are here to show the world what you have while you sit back and do your business. Come show the world the beauty of your products and services.
All right, welcome back to this wonderful program, Real Talk Show on Lono TV. I'm your host, Shimba Chichi, and of course, we're discussing poetry, love, hate in a poetic expression, poetic industry. So, like I mentioned earlier, I have Zombe Mkandawiri. It's going to give us just a snip of it. We want to know what poetry is all about. Zombe, are you ready?
Actually, I would say I'm black on this one. I wasn't ready to recite today.
Okay.
I just thought we'd be talking, but in any case, I would definitely do something, maybe.
You're in a competition. Give us something.
Okay, so what can I do? Okay, I think what I'm going to do is it's titled Beauty Beyond Makeup.
Oh, come again?
Beauty Beyond Makeup.
Beauty Beyond Makeup.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
All
just
right.
going to do some short
I think you can now face the camera as we do Beauty Beyond the Makeup. Beauty Beyond the camera now.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Now, it goes like this. Everybody looks for the wow factor, the wow effect. Even more so when you are the one creating it. That is why beauty is an attribute sought after, an aspiration of recognition. It's a joy to those that lay eyes on it, something to admire, something to marvel at, a magnet for attraction.
The magnet for attraction. You call it beauty
Beyond Makeup.
Come on here.
A magnet for attraction.
The
Yeah.
magnet for attraction.
Yeah.
Are you attracted in one of the beauty that you see around?
I would be attracted to a lot of people, but that wouldn't necessarily mean I'm in love.
All right. Share us something to do with what are some of the challenges that you face in this industry of poetry? Maybe people don't really understand what poetry is all about, the poetry industry. Are there some challenges that you really face? Like when it comes to maybe, are you recognized?
No, I would say where we are right now, I don't think poets are recognized in the way that they should be recognized. Yeah.
What some of the causes that has contributed to that?
I think some of the causes would be our upbringing, because a lot of people growing up, they have been more inclined to just music and not poetry. Not knowing to say poetry has been actually the basis of everything, because in our old days, before even the colonial rule, poetry was there in Africa. I would say Africa is the birthplace for poetry.
Okay.
Yes.
But let's come to a place batira kashira kambushi kasengolo pokekela.
Yes.
Na tukasengwile FM nomini mkasama. How are you facing poetry as in Kasama district? Are there some challenges, or maybe you point out something to say these are the good parts that when I do this piece of poetry, I'll be well recognized? Or maybe you have been facing a lot of challenges.
I think that the challenges are a lot that we are yet to figure out on how to solve out. Yeah, how to sort them out. So, poetry in Kasama, I think most of the people they don't really understand what it is and what it can do.
Okay.
Yes.
So since you are now participating in Kasama Got Talent this year, and a lot of challenges is coming on board, how do you describe it as it now, since you are in the game?
Okay, the last time I participated, I had time to reflect on what I should do and what I should work on in order to let the people recognize what I'm actually doing on stage.
Okay.
Yes. So I know to say it's going to be a big deal and it's going to be a big challenge.
Okay.
But I will try my level best in order to make them understand what exactly I'll be doing on stage and what exactly poetry is.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, we were trying to explore more about poetry and we want to understand really when you're working as a poet, as Zombie, and with other colleagues that you work with, and of course with your mentor, DJ Fresh, you know, we will talk back in the background. All right. Are you having something to do with maybe you bring someone from the grassroots, like you train somebody to become a good poet, or you're just working as a Zombie, as an individual to sharpen your skills, or you're working with other people to come together and maybe try to be recognized in a well-fashioned manner?
Okay, I would say I don't necessarily work alone. Yeah. Like I said earlier on, I'm being motivated by Fresh the DJ, and we have a group that comes on board, and a lot of people every year we receive new people that are groomed to become better poets, and I'll be glad to say a lot of them have come out. Yeah, and they're actually a threat to me.
A threat?
Yeah.
But you inspire them.
Yes, but they're actually a threat to me. When I listen to them, I would say, damn, this nigga is good.
All right. We might be talking about poetry and what you're doing and what you're facing, and of course the challenges that are coming on board. Maybe let's talk about your achievements in the poetry industry. When you started poetry, what are some of the achievements that you've done, maybe from secondary to tertiary and even up to now? Do you have any other things that you can point out to say, okay, during this career, I've done so and so and so?
Yeah.
Maybe you tell the viewers.
Okay, so from the time I started, or from the time I stepped on stage to recite a poem, there are a number of achievements that have been there. For example, in I think I was 2020, yeah, we participated in a competition that was involved. A lot of colleges were involved. Yeah. I think we were about 25, and we managed to come out number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah. Yes. And from 2020, I think I was up to 2021. 2020, I came out as a best vocalist in poetry when it comes to Northern, and in 2021, I was the best male poet, and in 2022, I was both the best poet and the best male poet.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. Maybe a word of inspiration to the viewers who are watching you. Maybe what is your word to them, those who want to venture into poetry?
I think they should just be themselves. When you want to become a poet, don't focus on learning what somebody does or trying to imitate what somebody else does. Just be yourself. Just be you. Express yourself the way you are. If you're an introvert,
but
if
you
you're
can be inspired by somebody, how somebody recite poems.
But don't follow their suit.
Okay.
Be yourself, because when you try to follow someone's suit, you end up becoming their shadow. Therefore, you not come out the way you're supposed to come out.
Okay.
Yes. So just be yourself.
Your last words before we conclude
concerning
the program.
I would say, I think just as I'm a lover of poetry, I think everyone should follow up and try to learn more about poetry, and you'd be surprised to say it's actually more interesting than anything you would think of. poetry is life, I would say.
Would you agree with me to say poets, they love romance?
Romance? No. No.
Are they romantic?
Actually, no. For me, I'm not romantic.
How do you entice somebody? You're in a relationship. Do you have...
That's why I said, for me, I'm not romantic. Because for me, when it comes to me being in a relationship, I would even tell my girlfriend to say, which point the tray?
Really?
Definitely.
Okay, let's look at some of the comments that we have received so far. And of course, we have Cartoon Art saying, nice topic, be real. And Amos Mselema Chileshe, great. And of course, Jonathan Kasanda is following the program.
Okay.
Maybe as we conclude, our dear viewers, I've been chatting with Zombe Mukandawire, and he's of course denying to say poets are not lovers, they are not romantic. How true is that?
Actually, poets, they are not just, poets are not lovers who love poems, but poets are lovers who enjoy love poems.
Do you pay attention to your girlfriend? Do you give them attention?
In poets, a certain way, poets. Yes. Huh?
The poets, do they really give attention? Or do you really just pay attention and recite?
When you talk of paying attention, what do you mean?
All right, dear viewers, this has been DJ Chichi on a Real Talk Show. On today's program, I've been privileged talking to Zombe Mukandawire, a poet, and of course, is a Kasama Birds. And if you want to know more about him, come through and have a chat and be inspired by his work. And of course, visit, like, share Lono TV platform, and of course come through and do quality pictures, and of course other services, talking of weddings, Chilanga Mulilo, and other corporate events. And of course, if you want to be covered in a different style of your lifestyle, of different events, come through to Lono TV. And of course, visit Sajotech Mobile for other quality services of mobile accessories and other accessories in stock. I've been Shimba Chichi on Real Talk Show. Until next time, love and nobleness.
Lono Studios cares about your memories, and what better way to keep your memories than having pictures and videos. As Lono Studios, we cover events such as weddings, kitchen parties, Chilanga Mulilo, birthday parties, as well as corporate events. If you are looking for quality pictures and videos for such events, look no further than Lono Studios. Visit and like our Facebook page at